Hi, I'm David Kelley, President and CEO of Chakana Copper. Chakana Copper is a junior copper explorer focused in the country of Peru. We have a new discovery in the Soledad project. It's hosted in tourmaline breccia pipes related to an intrusive center. We've received a new permit that's going to allow us to test what we believe is the intrusive porphyry drive in the system. We plan to start that program in March. We're fully funded for that now. And we're excited about what the future holds for our company.
David, good to see you, and Happy New Year to you. Right, we're going to get straight into it. You have raised $3 million, as we talked about just before Christmas, but you managed to get some mining royalty involved in there. Mr. Rick Rule joins you. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, this isn't the first time that Rick has invested in the company. He knows us well. He knows our chairman, Doug Silver, very well. He knows John Black very well, of course. So, and I think Rick is an astute investor. He does his homework. He relies on some technical experts that know our story very well. So it was really gratifying to welcome Rick back again. I think he's done a brilliant job of recognizing the undervalued nature of our company at the time that he invested. I think we've seen that rebound happen in the first week of trading this year. There's been really good volume on our stock and moving up. But Rick is, he likes stories where he likes the management, he likes the geologic opportunity, and he's not looking to double his money in an investment like this. He's obviously looking to hit it out of the park, and we think we can do that for him.
Right. Okay. Now, obviously, he's talked to me in the past a lot about contrarian investing and sort of picking good companies, good management teams, and kind of like sitting back and waiting for the market to change. You mentioned calling the bottom there, and boy, I think everyone listening to this hopes you're right in sense, not just for your company but for the market as a whole. What is his expectation of you and that money? What do you got to go and do?
Well, it's going to be used for drilling, and the exciting thing for us is we now have the permit on the south side of the project. It's right, centered on right in the middle of if you drew a circle around all the tourmaline breccia pipes, right in the center is this giant 2.5 square kilometer gold anomaly in soil, right? And within that is very high molybdenum in soils, very intense alteration. The geophysical targets sit right in the center. You can check so many boxes when you look at the project from the targeting standpoint, and that's what the money is going to be used to do. We've got a 2,400 meter minimum drill program testing the porphyry target. We have now flexibility in upsizing our financing and hitting our mark at $3 million. We have flexibility to drill deeper if we need to. We have flexibility to drill additional targets that we didn't have before. The Estremadura breccia pipe, which is high grade right at surface, very easy target, adds to that continuing high grade breccia story that we've been developing over the last few years. And it also allows us to test the high sulfidation epithermal target, which sits south of the porphyry at a higher elevation. You got to remember, we're only 35 kilometers from Fiorino, world-class high sulfidation epithermal deposit. We're in the Miocene mineral belt, one of the most prolific porphyry belts in South America, where when you start looking at checking the boxes, we check the boxes, Matt.
Right. Okay. And I want to check some of the boxes with you now, right? Because we're talking porphyries, we've got breccias. And we got a decent land package in the right postcode, or zip code, as you guys say. I'm just thinking, conscious of what's gone before the last 2 years, whatever anyone's put out in the market, it's got very, very damp response to, very muted indeed. When you're speaking to someone like Rick, he plays the market. He understands what consensus feels like, what momentum feels like. Was there any advice as to how you go about it and what you target specifically to get the most effective results from that drilling in the market? He
was super excited that we're going after the porphyry. You only have to look at Hercules Silver and see what they've done. They're on a big system, right? They keep stepping out in there. They keep drilling hundreds of meters of porphyry mineralization. It's way too early to call what the ultimate impact of that discovery is going to be. They're planning a 20,000 meter drill program now, which is exactly the right thing. We were just talking before we got on here about the importance of drilling, and you just got to get out there and you got to do the drilling. So Rick was excited for the fact that we're focused on drilling. It's a technical program. We're not a lifestyle company. We're here to make a big discovery for our shareholders. And, our biggest shareholder is Goldfields, and they've been with us from the very start. They're at 18.4% equity ownership. They're super excited. Most of the targeting work, the heavy lifting on all the geophysics was done by Goldfields. So they're very in tune with what the potential of this project is. And to have, Goldfields, Rick Rule, and several other very notable investors that I won't mention today come into the financing is really gratifying.
Okay, and just for people new looking in, because I imagine they will be, because looking at your share chart, you've more than doubled since the announcement was made, and obviously I think you've been on Rick's show. Rick has mentioned you on the show, and that's got a good reaction in the market. Your trading is up. People are leaning in and looking at this thing, right? The same people who are missing some of the big decent headlines that you're putting out. If I look back to mid 2021, you're putting out you're hitting massive sulfide with 27-28% copper. Big, just sub 1,000 grams silver. With 0.3, 0.4 gold, and there's a nice kicker to have. So, can you just sort of talk us through some of the numbers that you've been seeing over the past couple of years, which people may have missed, which lead you to believe or lend you to believe that you think that this property of yours can actually deliver?
Yeah, and that work was all directed towards the tourmaline breccia pipes. They're spectacular ore bodies. They start at surface, they're open at depth. We've never seen the bottom of a breccia pipe yet, and we've got high-grade copper intercept at over 700 meters. So, and we think that there's between 50 and 100 of these breccia pipes, right? This is a really, really interesting magmatic hydrothermal mineral system. It's about 7 kilometers, 6 to 7 kilometers north to south, 3 to 4 kilometers east to west. It sits right on a major regional structure. And, these breccia pipes are very porous features that soak up the hydrothermal fluids. And so, that in and of itself is a great target to be going after. But we know that these tourmaline breccia pipes are related to porphyry intrusions, right? That's how they form. We're in one of the most prolific porphyry belts in South America, and we think we've identified the source of that intrusion that's driving the whole system. So we've got multiple different target types to go after, but we've hit the best drill intercepts in my career. That massive sulfide intercept that you mentioned, I think it was 13 meters of 27% copper and just below a kilogram of silver. We've hit 485 meters of over 1% copper from surface, continuous mineralization. So the breccia pipes are really special. We still have 54 breccia pipe targets already defined to drill. So there's a lot more to the breccia story, but just wait and see what we do with this porphyry. If we hit there, Matt, we're going to hit it out of the park for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, tell me a little bit about the kind of the copper component, because we're seeing there's obviously 50% of the market is our gold companies, right? So everyone understands gold, but it's kind of come out of favor. Your view on copper, given the conversations that you've had, local, family offices getting involved, you have Rick Rule getting involved, you already had a sort of, Goldfields in there. Copper is kind of people are getting excited about it. It's just been sitting sub, $4 at the moment. What are you hearing out there? Is that the copper of the moment for 2024?
I think so, because most of the investors that came in this round were coming after the copper. They love the copper story. Sure, we have precious metals. We have very high grades in precious metals. That's nothing wrong with that. But this is a copper story. I've been saying that from day one. Yeah, we have very high precious metals at the top, but as we go deeper, this becomes more of a pure copper play. There will always be byproducts, but I see this being, a copper, fundamentally a copper investment. And there's lots of enthusiasm, lots of appetite out there with the investment community. So I think that's good. I think it's the deficit in copper supply is supposed to start showing itself in terms of copper price in 2025. We've already seen some very unfortunate changes in the market with First Quantum and what's happening in Panama. Those are the kind of disruptions that can turn the supply of copper on its head, strikes lower grades in Chile. So we're in a good place. We're in the second largest copper producing nation in the world. It's increasing. Copper in Chile is decreasing. So we're in a good spot. It's a mining country, and I think that the people that are investing in us now at record low prices for our stock in a great copper story are doing the right thing.
Right, and I'll just finish off very quickly with the kind of the Peru component. We're hearing good things from lithium developers and uranium developers about the new government in Peru. Your view still continues to be a good place to do business?
Yeah, and it's, I get weekly updates from our team down in Peru, and things are nice and stable and, business as usual. Copper production was up in 2023. It's projected to be higher in 2024 and higher again in 2025. So things are looking good for Peru. I think they still need to do some work on their regulatory process and expediting permitting and that type of thing. Fortunately for us, that's behind us, now, but it's good for the industry. It's good for foreign investment to see that the country's continually improving. But yeah, mining's happening in Peru, and we're glad that we're there.
Well, Dave, we'll leave it there. Go do something. Tell us what you've done. Exciting times, and congrats on the race.
Thank you very much, Matt. Happy New Year.